So for many years, we have known our next guest, and he's always he always has some interesting work on the go. But this year, there's a real sort of whipsaw between the two plays that he's acting and directing, especially right now.
Dean Paul Gibson is joining us now, and he's directing Xanadu, but also working with Bard on the Beach. How are you?
King John.
Very good, yes.
What are you doing with King John?
Well, King John, I directed King John.
Yes.
As I did Xanadu, but
Yeah.
specifically.
So directing both. So what is it like when one is a director and you're doing two plays at the same time? Do you accidentally direct the Bard actors, the King Johns, to do a roller disco?
As a matter of fact, that's right, all the King Johners. They said, when do we get our roller skates? When are we going to get the disco balls? And I said, hey, wait for it.
Has anybody done that with Shakespeare yet? Maybe that's what it needs for a shake-up.
King John needs to be mashed up with Xanadu?
There is a disco ball in The Merry Wives of Windsor, so it's sort of, hey,
that's
messing
true.
around with some
Shakespeare
stuff.
liked the, if they had been around at the time, I'm sure he would have had some actors
He was
on.
very current.
King John is deeply political, though. I mean, it is one of the more intellectual of Shakespeare's political yarns.
Yeah, I guess so, but still, I think infinitely accessible. But yes, the politics it's the same old, nothing changes. It's all about, we want this property, we want some power, we want some money. And it's about John's machinations with France and the church and the ensuing
It is amazing
struggle.
because it does never change. I mean, you look at current politics, you look at any structure that involves power and a pinnacle of power, things are going on behind the scenes all the time.
Which is fascinating, and to see it actually unfolding in a contemporary setting, perhaps keeps it very resonant for a modern audience.
How much do you enjoy working with Bard on the Beach? How many years has it been now,
21 years later, I reckon I really like it.
You think you're doing it?
Is this, come on, is this your 21st year with Bard?
Is it really?
21st season with Bard.
Wow.
Isn't that remarkable?
Who do you have
you're
pictures of?
I know, a lot, everyone, which is fantastic.
So, any plans on acting in Bard again in the future?
No, dear God,
Why?
that acting thing.
Why?
No, a couple of years ago, as you know, I played Falstaff, and that was divine. That was just the perfect thing. But now, because of my career as a director, my commitment is shorter as a director. And at Bard, as you know, the season is longer.
6 months?
Yeah. That's right, and that just sort of limits my possibilities to direct more shows, which I really enjoy also.
How integral, though, has Bard been in your development as a director and as an artist as well? I mean, because we were talking about some of this with Christopher, after a few years, Mr. Gaze, Mr. Gaze. Hello. But as you go along, it becomes such an integral force in the community of teaching people their art and their skill and giving them practical experience.
Well, I think that's, I speak about this all the time when I'm teaching or working in workshop settings. The classical base that Bard has given me, the strong classical base, has been so helpful to my career, both as an actor and a director. My understanding, the way I would approach text work and the way I think about theater in general, it's just been deeply rewarding for on a professional level.
Let's talk about the discotheque, Xanadu.
Xanadu!
Let's get it, just in time for Pride.
Because it's fabulous!
It's the gayest thing on skates.
How hard is it to direct people on skates?
I can't even imagine.
Well, that was part of the criteria. That was part of their audition process. My choreographer, Lisa Stevens, and we just said, and I said to the associate casting person, I said, make sure you bring in people. They have to bring in skates. They need to be able to do that business. And look at this. Look at that fantastic.
Acting, but even more singing while you're on roller skates.
Singing, and that's what makes them remarkable. Look at Galen.
Look at the tube socks.
He had 11 years of being, what is that called? What do they call
figure
that?
skating?
Yeah, that's it, figure skating. So
rollerblading?
Yeah, rollerblading. That really comes in handy. And then I had a couple of people that hadn't been on ice skates since they were 14. And that was almost felt like me, too.
They have to have that confidence because they can't be thinking about the skating. They've got to be thinking about their acting.
No, and they've got
dancing
25 feet to do it on, so a small discotheque, but it's so much fun. And
audience are absolutely loving this show.
Digging it.
One of our producers, Lisa, went.
Yeah.
She said it was the funniest thing she's ever seen in Vancouver.
Yeah, well, that's the glory of being a director. I was running from Xanadu rehearsals to King John, so I was getting the full complement of the theatrical sort of, it was great.
You know what, we haven't even talked, for people that are unfamiliar with Xanadu, I mean, it is kind of it's a big farce. It's a big,
It's a send-up. It's a send-up of the movie. If you saw the Stinky movie in 1980.
Was it Olivia Newton-John and who else was in that one?
Gene Kelly, and I hope to God that wasn't his last picture because You wouldn't want to go to your grave with that one.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Poor Gene, it killed him.
Yeah, sorry, Gene. Everything else,
But it really was terrible, the film.
Yeah, it stunk. And you know, what's his name? The guy who was in The Warriors, whoever the hell that guy was, he went into obscurity after that. I mean, The Warriors was a seminal film in the 70s.
Yeah.
Come
and then he went and did Xanadu.
And then he did Xanadu, and he honked in that one, and bye-bye, see you later, career.
But it's got the camp on the stage.
It totally sends it up. I mean, the guys, the creators of Xanadu, the musical, are, you know, a bunch of firmly tongue-in-cheek gays that just went, we love this, we're going to send it up. We love the music, the ELO popular music catalog, fantastic.
Yeah, down from Mount Olympus to create a roller rink.
Sending up Clash of the Titans, too,
so
the original one.
So what's next for you? Bard, Xanadu, where does one go after that?
Oh my God, I've reached the zenith. Well, hopefully, employment, that's the main thing. I've been very lucky that I continue my career in the theater here in Vancouver. But right now, I'm running from here, and I'm going to auditions for She Stoops to Conquer, which will be at the Arts Club in the fall season coming up.
Let's talk about theater in Vancouver, because people always say, oh, there's nothing to do, there's nothing to do.
S is what I say. There is so many fantastic things. Last night I was at a show at the Cultch for the Neanderthal Festival. A group of young people just coming out of theater school, not long, a year or two. They created a wonderful musical called Stationary, and I was invited to that. And you see all these guys creating work for themselves, an opportunity, which is really important. But there's like 70 small groups, I think, all over the place, including some of the bigger companies. It is thriving, and you need to support live theater if you want it here in Vancouver. Go see a show.
Don't mess with DPG, man. Do what he says, people. Xanadu.
Who's that with DPG?
I will cut you. That's On
that happy note. Don't test him, people. Don't test him.
I will cut you. Dean Paul Gibson, 2012. Xanadu runs with the Arts Club at Granville Island Stage until August 4th. That's only until this Saturday. Go, go, go. It is such a fun show. And of course, Bard on the Beach at the Tents. It runs until September 22nd. Lots of fun nights. Make sure that you get a group of people together and go check it out.
Yeah, there's lots of options for you there, of course, to go and check it out, from the comedies all the way through to the more political theater.
Come out.
We're going to take a break. We're going to take a break.